Listen, those who understand this will benefit greatly for years to come, I believe. And we just went over how Professor Stephen Beard pretty much admitted that our funds have been frozen. However, he's still wanting us to pay another $100 to essentially enter another private room because this door has been locked and not being able to get access to funds. Now we got to pay to enter another area that allows us to do some copy trades in order to keep the ball rolling, which is just sounding like a whole nother money grab in my opinion, but only time will tell in that angle for those who are able to withdraw. And it needs to be able to withdraw without recruiting. It's very important. Now, while we're focused on questionable apps and you know the things that have taken place with BG Wealth Sharing and how we can recover, this is what we got to understand. We got to stop thinking so small, because in the grand scheme of things, the President of the United States just signed something into action that's rewriting how banks handle money altogether. So we got to get on the right side of how money is being handled altogether, or we get left. Like I oftentimes say, get right or get left, because things are changing in the banking system and it's going to affect us all. And if we understand it and see it coming, then we can be in position and benefit from it and recoup well more than what we may have lost in BG Wealth Sharing, but also be in position for what we wanted anyway, which was some level of generational wealth. What am I talking about, and why is this so important? And why is it that you should listen all the way to the very end so you can be in position? Many of you are already in position. I've seen, some of the previous comments, but many of you are not, because you're looking for the next fast, quick thing that can give you that feeling of pushing a button and making money. Nah, you need to think long-term, skill sets, assets, and access. And what I'm talking about now is assets. So on May 19th, the White House signed an executive order, and it's basically saying for them to stop blocking digital currency, digital assets, digital companies from connecting to banks and their computer networks. So the government is officially preparing for real, safe, digital assets to be able to move multi-millions of dollars. That's very important, because money as we know it is changing, and we have to get in position. So this is what I want you to think about. If the government is trying to position it so that money is able to be moved without the physical banks that have been around for many years, and they're trying to be able to move money digitally without the banks as the middleman, what does that say to you? That means you need to take a step back and say, okay, what is going to make that possible? Because typically they have moved money through banks, wire transfers, the Swift, technology. But what is going to be the next thing that allows them to move their money so fast digitally without needing the banks? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Because when you ask yourself those type of questions, you wind up getting some answers. And when you get those answers, now you find out certain things that are already in position to make that happen. And now it looks as though you were a genius, when in actuality, you just followed the money. Follow the money by asking the right questions. So they're trying to get in position to be able to move money digitally and remove the banks out of the equation. But the banks are also getting in position as well. Don't get it twisted. The banks are getting in position as well, but most people are missing it because they're thinking about the wrong things. They're trying to chase the quick, push a button, and get your money up. It's okay to find ways that you can grow your money passively, but you have to be in position from an asset standpoint, because that's what has the most longevity. Skill sets and assets have a strong longevity piece to it. So what do I think is one of the things that's potentially in position to catch some of this transfer of wealth? Because the transfer of wealth still is happening. We just have to be on the right side. And these big banks and big companies and the government are dealing with big money. So it's more than just talking about what you and I can do, who we may know that may be interested into a platform like we were thinking with BG Wealth Sharing. No, it's way deeper than that. You want to get in the flow of where the real transfer of money is happening on the grand scheme of things. And that's the government that's dealing with, where money is going as a whole, because it's definitely falling out of, the paper form of money and going highly digital, but in a transparent manner, which is what cryptocurrency is in a blockchain, but it has to be the right one. So what am I thinking? So I said it once and I'm going to say it again. strongly consider XRP. Strongly consider XRP. This is not financial advice or anything like that, but I really want people to win in the future of money, but at the same time recover from the L's that we've taken with BGUF sharing. But XRP is the only crypto that's 100% pretty much backed by the government. They went through the fire. They went through the lawsuits. They won and came out on top. And they're in perfect position to do exactly what the government is trying to do in terms of moving money. They're in perfect position to do what some of the banks are trying to do. Other countries are already taking advantage of what XRP is capable of doing. You know, emphasis on Japan. And they're already doing it on a big level. Like, they're ahead in so many ways when it comes to the way money is moving in comparison to the U.S. So it's not even a prediction at this point. It has already happened. Other people, countries, governments have to catch up. The question is, when they're trying to catch up, are we going to be in position? So strongly consider that, adding that to your toolbox as another asset that can just help you, and I keep saying recover from BGUF sharing, but in the grand scheme of things, help you do what you were wanting to do anyway, which is accomplish your financial goals. Very important to note. So while the professor wants us to focus on recruiting and incentives and the next app and all of these different updates, listen, taking your power back doesn't happen by chasing the next app or update or recruit. It happens by you having ownership in a true asset that can withstand the test of time or serve as the infrastructure of where things are going all together. If you own a piece of the infrastructure, the building blocks of where the world is going, now you position yourself to truly take your power back. So that's what this is more so about. Owning the infrastructure, the foundation, the thing that allows the main thing that's going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry to function all together. And that's the movement of money. We're going global from a standpoint of where money is going. I know many people who are in the U.S., we're so boxed in thinking U.S. No, this is the World Wide Web. So you got to stop thinking so local. You have to start thinking bigger. And the only way you do that is by being in position for things that are ready to serve the global missions that are already in place. They're trying to figure out how they can move money around. They've been doing it with foreign exchange. It's, it does what it does, but it's still middlemen involved. Now they're trying to cut out the middleman and be able to do it directly, and XRP is in position to make that happen. So I think it's something you should strongly consider. A different approach on this video, but I wanted to paint a picture so you can understand what's going on and not think so small-minded of worrying about what BG is doing, the next app, which exchange. No. Skill sets, assets, and access. And this is an asset that I think you need to add to your toolbox. That's it. That's all I got. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.